let's get right into it. Today's explainer is all about the master's mark. Basically, how to discern actual, genuine truth when it comes to spiritual guardianship. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a seeker, a disciple, just for a second, because what we're unpacking today is this incredibly profound research from Swami Somyananji Maharaj. Specifically, we're looking at the 28th installment of the Vishva Dharma Bodh series, and it's framed as this fascinating back-and-forth dialogue between a super-eager disciple and a profoundly wise master. And think about it. Look around at the world today. It's absolute chaos, right? There are literally thousands of voices, thousands of supposed gurus, and every single one of them is claiming they have the ultimate truth. They've got these massive followings, super elaborate rituals, unbelievable stories. It is overwhelming. You're rushing from one philosophy to another, spinning your wheels, and asking this really burning question. In a world absolutely flooded with false prophets and loud marketing, how on earth do I recognize a genuine, true saint? I mean, how do you cut through all that noise? Okay, let's dive into this. To figure out how to find the real truth, the master actually first explains where the disciple is currently standing. According to the research, most seekers start their journey deeply entrenched in what's called avidya, which is the realm of ignorance. But actually, scratch that, it's not just about a lack of book smarts. Avidya is a state of existence where a person is entirely bound by the physical world. You're bound by the 5 elements and the 5 sheaths of the body. In this state, literally everything you do, think, and feel is completely driven by basic survival mechanisms and basic natural tendencies. You're essentially operating on this underlying autopilot program that's just designed to keep you alive. Inside this state of avidya operates a really critical core mechanism, and it's called jijivisha. So jijivisha is that deep driving instinct for survival, for comfort, and for the constant fulfillment of me and mine. It is the ego's ultimate defense mechanism. And the text points out something fascinating here. When we're trapped in this survival mode, we naturally tend to elevate whatever fulfills our jijivisha up to the status of a god or a supreme guru. If someone makes us feel comfortable or, promises us wealth or validates our ego, we just blindly follow them. And we do this while completely ignoring whether their teachings actually align with true justice, universal dharma, or even just objective reality. We're just looking for a survival blanket. And because we're desperately looking for that comfort, it becomes so easy to fall for the false teacher. Look at this comparison drawn directly from the source material. A false teacher, they operate on propaganda. They rely heavily on old tales of their ancestors' bravery or charity, super strict dogmas, and wearing very specific special costumes just to project authority. It's essentially an act. On the flip side, the text defines a true saint completely differently. A true saint doesn't rely on special costumes. They rely on reality. They study, they understand, and most importantly, they live in total accordance with the natural, scientific principles of creation.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the literal, scientific progression outlined here. The research specifically shows that a true saint actually comprehends the mechanics of nature from the absolute ground up. Like, they understand the progression from subatomic particles, quarks, to the formation of atoms, to the compounding of material matter, all the way up to the incredibly complex biological structure of the human body. So, a true spiritual guardian isn't rejecting science to go embrace mysticism. They are deeply observing the literal, physical reality of the universe. They know exactly how it's built, and they align their entire existence with those structural truths.
This leads to an incredibly profound definition from the text, and I want you to really let this sink in. Knowledge is knowing and embodying nature's truth. It isn't just memorizing scriptures. It isn't just philosophizing. It is the active, lived experience of understanding exactly how nature works and actually holding that truth within your own daily existence. If you aren't living it, you don't truly know it. And the method of achieving that real knowledge is called vidya. So if avidya is the ignorance of just being in survival mode, vidya is the true awakening. It's defined right here as the actual method and science of knowing truth. When a person steps into vidya, they enter an existence of pure awareness. They fully realize the principle of harmonious coexistence. A person grounded in vidya, a true saint, doesn't feel the need to force traditions, specific clothes, or restrictive dogmas onto anyone else. Why? Because they are no longer operating from a place of fear or manipulation. They're just simply living the truth. And this brilliantly illustrates this stark contrast between these two states of being. On the left, we've got avidya. Like we said, it's pure survival programming. It relies on propaganda, cunningness, and a completely one-sided perspective just to protect the ego. It's super restrictive and totally fear-based.
But then on the right, we have Vidya. This is characterized by expansive awareness, a really deep understanding of natural truth, and a life that's lived in harmonious coexistence. The master explains that the whole goal of the disciple is to cross this bridge, to move out of that survival programming of avidya and right into the clear awareness of Vidya.
But here's the crazy twist in the dialogue. The master turns the mirror right around. You've been asking how to find the perfect teacher, right? But the text asks a way more challenging question. Are you truly eligible to receive this knowledge? Like, are you actually ready to be a worthy disciple? Because simply finding a true saint isn't going to do much if your own vessel isn't prepared to hold the water.
The source outlines 6 specific, foundational limbs of eligibility that a disciple has to cultivate. The absolute cornerstone, the first one, is mumukshata. This is the burning, authentic desire for real liberation. And the text is super clear about this. Without mumukshata, genuine knowledge simply cannot be retained. It'll just slip right away. But once that deep desire is there, it has to be supported by the others. There's shraddha, which is deep reverence, vishwas, meaning unwavering trust, samarpan, the ability to completely surrender your ego, seva, which is selfless service, and prem, genuine love. It's really only through these 6 limbs that a disciple becomes capable of actually absorbing the truth of the universe.
When a truly eligible disciple finally meets a true master, we reach the ultimate test of spiritual guardianship. The text concludes with this really powerful metric. A true saint gives realization. They do not impose it. Just being in the company of a genuine guide, awareness naturally sparks right within you. The truth of life just becomes clear through their presence and their pure alignment with nature. They aren't forcing your compliance to feed their own survival needs or to, build some massive empire. They are simply illuminating the path so you can walk it yourself. So the crucial point is that true spiritual teaching is really about finding that harmonious alignment with the science of creation and cultivating the deep internal readiness to receive it. The structured foundational approach to this high-level realization comes directly from the organization behind this profound research, the Vishva Dharma Sangam, or the Divine World Family. Their emblem right here represents this structured foundational approach to universal truth and coexistence, acting as a gateway to this kind of high-level realization. If this breakdown of Swami Soumyananji Maharaj's research has sparked something within you, you can absolutely explore more of their work directly. Their website is vishvadharmasangam.org, and their contact number is 73555-23825. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to really reflect on today. You now know the signs of a true master, and you know the science of creation they embody. But are you ready to awaken your own mumukshata? Step completely out of survival mode and seek the real truth? Thanks for learning with me today.